Hey, welcome back to Behind the Gauze. I'm Shakai Monet, and today I have an amazing special guest. Her name is Maimah Karmo. Hi, Maimah, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Of course, your story is so amazing and it's so personal. I know it's going to touch so many lives, like it's touched mine, but you're the owner and founder of the Tigerlily Foundation. So let's start with what is the Tigerlily Foundation?
So we do a lot of work around young women and breast cancer, focusing on women who are from communities that are underprivileged mostly. I learned I had breast cancer at 32 years old. I found a tumor in my breast at 31, and I went to a doctor and got a mammogram, which they were saying I didn't need to have one because I was too young to have breast cancer. And I'm like, I'm not too young. I don't know what. I never have had this before. I had this kind of, a lump in my breast, but if it's there, it's there. I don't think that age should be an issue. But I kept hearing that I was too young to have any kind of cancer, especially breast cancer, and to come back when I was in my 40s or 50s. The lump kept growing, so I kept pushing for, first an aspiration, then a biopsy, and it turned out I had breast cancer. It was triple negative breast cancer. At the time, there was no treatment targeting triple negative breast cancer at all. So I found the lump at 31 years old, but it took me a while to get diagnosed because they kept telling me, I was too young, or the mammogram came back clean and not to worry about it. So thank God I did advocate for myself and push for screening and further diagnostics. Turned out it was breast cancer. And so Tiger Lily Foundation really emerged out of my own personal journey. You know, um, our goal is to educate women about their breast health and their family history, to help them to become better advocates, to know what to speak up about and when and what to ask for, to empower them to be, again, their own best advocates and to give them support during treatment. So our whole work is around education, advocacy, empowerment, support for women who are younger, before, during, and after breast cancer. And so I think that when things happen that are challenging in life, you have a couple of options: one's to kind of fall back, or one's to kind of just charge forward. And the mission really emerged around my own journey and me thinking about what women who were younger would need and women who were vulnerable would need. And our programs have grown around that mission ever since, and we'll be in our 20th year next year.
Wow. Well, congratulations on
Thank
your 20th year. That's incredible. And thank you for fighting for women and breast cancer because it's so important. Like, I just cannot fathom that they just said that you were too young and turned you away. So, I mean, I'm glad that you still like advocated for yourself and was still like, no, I'm feeling something, like, help me out. Hate that it took so long. But when you got that diagnosis, like, what was going through your mind?
Well, like anybody, when they hear the words you have cancer, the first thing is, fear. Fear, shock, and mostly for me, because no one ever talked about cancer that I knew. No one had cancer because you're told when you hear cancer, you think about smoking, right? So you think, well, I didn't do that. You think I had a healthy lifestyle. You think that, I ate clean. So you start thinking about what did I do? What did I miss? And, how is this happening to me? So you're having this fear. Then it's like thinking about what are the things that you could have done, should have done, not have done. Um, and then it's kind of like, what do I do next, right? And because I found the lump, almost a year before and been trying to get it figured out, and I had been dismissed and blown off for so long, my part of my fear was, oh my God, has it grown or spread? And I mean, and my daughter was 3 years old, so there was this. I was terrified, like that. My body was like cold. I was just, I mean, it was horrible, thinking something could happen to me, and also that I would never know her, who would take care of her. So it was just overwhelmed, to be honest. And I think people often think, well, even if you have a good doctor or a nurse and they're explaining to you all the things you have to do, when you're in that kind of a shock and overwhelmed, you don't really digest information properly. So one of the things that we do at Tiger Lily was really we really help people understand in a way that makes sense for them, and to kind of get them to breathe and to calm down, and over time, and to say that you may not understand these things, but we'll help you figure out, like what they mean for you in your diagnosis, how to get navigation and support through that process. And knowing that you're not alone. Because at the time when I was diagnosed, I didn't know anybody else who was my age with cancer. I didn't know anybody who was the stage I had or the kind of cancer subtype I did have. So I was very lonely. And the people that they would tell me to talk to were women who were really like older. And then they talk about, oh, my friend died of cancer, or my sister died of, and I'm just like, I do not want to hear this. Like I need to hear something about hope and empowerment, and I need to be able to take action. And so, like I said earlier, for me, when something bad happens, just being able to act and do something about it was kind of when my turning point came. So of course it was fear, but then when I began thinking about ways to help other people, that kind of shifted my whole energy around um, my journey and what how I could use this to help other people have a different outcome, a better outcome, better experience as well.
Wow, that's so beautiful. And just the fact that you were going through something and you were already thinking about, hey, how can I help other people? Like, that's so incredible because if I understand correctly, you started the Tigerlily Foundation while you were going through chemo?
Yeah.
Wow. And so, I mean, I guess you kind of already explained, like, do you feel like you starting the Tiger Lily Foundation actually helped you? Because I heard when you have chemo, you're tired a lot of the time and don't feel like doing things. So I guess, like, how did you persevere?
It's worse than feeling tired. I mean, you're tired, you're having sweats, you can have rashes, your skin color could change, you could have bone pain, headaches, nausea, diarrhea. Like, I mean, it's awful. There are times when I couldn't go to the bathroom, I couldn't get up and walk. I was so bone tired. Like I literally wanted to cry. I was just so tired. My everything hurt. So it was exhausting. I do think that the way that I'm built, I typically try to do things like I'm very healthy, I'm very active, and I'm pretty self motivated. So I thought if I've been eating clean and eating healthy and exercising and taking care of myself and avoiding, carcinogens that I know about, like, and I didn't know what to do, then what will somebody else who maybe not have the same kind of mindset deal with, right? I thought about the fact that I was really lonely and I was really scared and didn't have anyone to talk to, and all the things. So I feel like out of the pain I was feeling, I could have just sat there in the pain and been depressed. um, I do, but my character is one where when I'm going through something, I think about there's somebody else out there who's going through this that is so alone, or who's gone through this and maybe on the other side, or could have died without having somebody to help empower them, give them a hope, or give them a way to kind of build a living legacy that they could leave behind and build while they're still here. So I would say that beginning the foundation, during treatment, it changed my life. It changed my experience. It got me out of feeling hopeless and overwhelmed, and I turned my fear into action. So whatever I felt, I was like, how can I help somebody going through this exact topic around fertility, around lack of peer support, around people who are being dismissed by physicians and healthcare systems, around healthcare policy. So I kind of like just mapped out what the things that I felt, like all the things that I went through that were bad and challenging, and the things that were good, and I thought, what could I create in the space of this to make it better, be more of a beautiful experience, one of sisterhood and empowerment and love, and a safe space for people who are going through, a time where they felt very unsafe. And so I counteracted that, the bad, scary, challenging things with beauty, and it grew. I really believe in that. Even the name of Tiger Lily it's a flower, and the flower is perennial. And when like the tiger lily, the flower, when it becomes fall and winter, the petals fall off like women's hair or a breast. You lose a breast or more, or your ability to have children during treatment. And then, during the winter and fall time, and then when it becomes spring and summer, the flower petals blossom again, and it smells fragrant. And so the things to give women the idea that they can be beautiful, strong, and be transformed during and after cancer. And so giving it something that felt less fearful and less hopeless and more hopeful. And it's been really beautiful helping women who are younger and people who are from communities that are vulnerable, and Black and brown women coming to us who didn't know anybody who looked like them, who didn't have support. And they find Tiger Lily and they go, oh my God, I have other sisters who are like me. And this girl has been in treatment, but she's out there speaking, and she's on the Hill, or she's in her community, helping inspire other people going through breast cancer, or she's on a podcast or on TV, or, giving people hope in her church. And so, like, I find that people want to do good. They just want to do good. So when you give them a way to do that good, it can transform their experience. And so that's what we do here at Tigerlily Foundation, is give people a way to be educated, be empowered, and transform their breast cancer journey.
Oh my gosh. Again, I just love everything. And I just wanted to say what you said again of when you're fearful, just turn it into action. Granted, I do think sometimes people might act out in the wrong way, but I love that you turned your pain into power and just kind of like didn't let your setbacks really set you back. You let your setback be your set up for something better. So I feel like I'm just throwing out a lot of cliches at the moment, but it's just so
No,
beautiful.
it truly was. Thank you for that, because people often ask me, a lot of people ask me, and they're like, well, how do you figure out your life purpose? I really believe in trying different things. I don't think anybody has, like, everybody has a talent or things they can learn that can set them up for the next their thing, their setup, right? So, like, when I came from Liberia as a young woman, as a refugee, like, I came here at 15 years old with nothing, only one suitcase, and I had no money. My family came at some point after me, but I did jobs as a receptionist. I did jobs doing, answering phones and being a secretary. I did jobs where I cleaned offices and bathrooms. I did jobs where I worked for a law firm and an accountant, and did social media and communications. But every job I had, I did it well, and I learned from people that were in the job who were more experienced than me. I asked questions. I love getting mentors. And what happened was, every job gave me, I learned a skill set, or wanted more skill set, or I bettered a skill set I already may have had. And so when I got diagnosed with breast cancer, and I was asking God, what do I do about this? I had the things I needed to have in place to build something that was from my heart. So, you don't have to have the answers at whatever point are at in your life. But I always tell people who are younger, like, try something different. Ask the questions, get a mentor. You can't learn everything on TikTok or Instagram. Like, people that have been here before you who are older, like, don't be calling them, like, people think people who are older, like, they're old. No, they know things. They've done the
Mhm.
things. Like, so ask their advice. And I had a lot of people that would ask advice up. So when I finally got to the point of my setback with breast cancer, my setup was that I've been learning new things over a period of many, many years. And then I use all the things that I had learned, even when I had the setback of, losing all my parents, we lost our home in the war, all those things. But those setbacks gave me the tools to learn the things that I needed to learn to do the thing that God had put me here to do, which was begin a community based, nationally grown footprint for a foundation that it's been in my body of work for almost 20 years now.
Wow, because yeah, I love God and Jesus, and the scripture I hold on to is He works all things for our favor, and you are just a testament to that. And I did want to ask, like, when you got the diagnosis, did that shake your faith and change your relationship with God?
It did. I was pissed.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
pissed. I was
yeah,
calling God out. I was mad. I was mad because, I mean, I've been through a lot in my young life, right? I've been
yeah.
through survived 3 wars. I had been held at
3?
gunpoint. I had gone through a lot of things, which aren't all. We don't have time for all that now. I've been hit by lightning when I was 12. Like, I literally have been through a lot, and I always kept my faith. I always kept, like, a positive attitude. My friends always tell me I was the friend people came to no matter what I was going through. I was like that. Let's have hope. We have faith. Thank you, God. We're gonna get through this. And I'm like, wait a minute, you do this to me? Like,
Yeah.
how do you let this happen to me? Like, when I came in, when the war happened, we found a church. I was teaching Sunday school. Like, I was that person, like, I'm gonna volunteer for the prison system and Habitat for Humanity. I was that kind of person with nothing I was giving back. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is not how this is supposed to work, God. Like, what are you doing here? Um, and, so I was angry for some time because it was just like I was being stripped of everything that I thought I was. Even my physical, like,
Oh,
my mind, I'm very strong minded. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to lose my hair, or I'm going to be able to still work. And then I couldn't walk sometimes. I was tired. I would pass out I'd be exhausted. I would, like, literally faint from, like, whether it was like, I was just tired, and I would have blackouts from the exhaustion and dehydration, things like that. So I was like, even though I had the mental like positivity, the mindset, my body wasn't cooperating with my mind. And that was scary to me because before I would think I can do this and I just put my head towards I'm gonna do this and I would push through it. But I was like, whoa, I don't know how to do this. I was like, okay, God, why did you leave me? What did I do? Why did you abandon me? And I went through a period of feeling like really angry at God and really just like I felt alone, like he
Mm.
left me, and I didn't like how that felt. And then also, but the way again I'm wired, I thought if somebody else has gone through this or goes going through this,
Mhm.
some other girl in a room someplace sitting in a room like me in her bed after chemotherapy and is feeling so lonely and so hopeless, what can I do for her? And I think having that kind of mindset of like, if I feel this way and
Yeah.
I don't know who to talk to, if I can just help one person not feel like this, then I will feel better. And so, but that's how God works because, you
Mhm.
can pray all you want and you can say, well, God, I'm faithful, even when you're not mad, and just sit around and wait. Or you can start to do things and start to act. So my kind of faith is actionable faith. And so even though I was like, F you, God,
Yeah.
you left me and you don't really exist anymore. And then, but if you do, help me do this, and then he showed
Mhm.
me, he's like, he was talk to me and say, go to this place and, talk with this person or make this, I would just get an idea, like, call this organization or call this person, or you talk to this friend of yours and I go to a church and they say, can you speak next Sunday? And so it was kind of like in that time where I felt the most alone and angry with God where he was speaking to me because sometimes God puts you in a desert where you are alone because
Mhm.
nobody on this earth can tell you what God can tell you. And you can be looking on Google or TikTok or Instagram or whatever. God's like, I'm here. You're mad at me. So
Mhm.
I'll just hang out while you're mad. I'm whisper to you when you have time for me. And then if
Yeah.
you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to, that's fine. But I'm here. What's up? And
Wow.
so I was like, forget you, but I kept doing the thing. And then next thing it was like I got on channel 5. I spoke at a church first, and then I got on channel 5, and then I was like, then I was going to Essence magazine photo shoot in New York. I'm thinking, what is going on? And I remember like God telling me that this wasn't about just the cancer, it's about me creating something. It was about hope and about faith and about transformation. And it was about when you feel like you're in a valley, the only way there's a mountain that you're climbing up. And there's all these things he was showing me. And remember I was flying to the Essence photo shoot. I was, about to land in New York. And I remember I just felt at one point this pastor had come to speak to me before all this stuff happened. And she was telling me that she could see what God had ordained for my life. And she was like, God has you on stages and flying all over the world and helping millions of people. And I was like, I don't want to get mad at this pastor right now, but I'm like, she can just get the hell out of my room. Like, get the hell out, Medea voice, right? Let's get
Yeah.
the hell out of here, like, like leave me alone. But I was being very polite to her. And I'm like, this woman's crazy. I'm sitting here, I'm bald, I'm literally sick as a dog, and you telling me about stages and platforms and books and stuff like that. But when I was going to Essence, I was like, how did this happen in less than year and a half, 2 years? And I did Essence, I think 2008, 2 years after. Yeah. And then Robin Roberts, who was an anchor at Good Morning America, got diagnosed that year. And then she saw the magazine and had the woman who were in the magazine, in Essence, on her show. And then Oprah's network reached out to me, and then things took off. And then it just kind of grew. But I will say that the media around what I was building it was
Mhm.
great, but those media things like that are just, a minute long or 2 minutes or five. The real faith is in doing the work, the hard work, even when
Mhm.
you're not getting the funding or the money's, or you don't have a big board yet, or no one knows who you are, because it took me a long time to build Tigerlily. It took people were like, well, there's other groups out there that are 10, 20, 30 years old. And, what are you doing? And I'm like, this is going to be epic. You have no idea what you're talking about. Like, this is going to be great. And I just kept at it. And at some point, when you're planting the seeds of love and of hope and of growth and about healing and helping people one at a time to get support, and it's beautiful, right? And so to your earlier question, like, I was scared, but when you're giving people love and you're holding their hands throughout the darkest times of their life, people I sat with when they were dying, or people that I took food to, or clothes to, or met with their family members, like all those things. Time passed, and it was 1 year out and 2 years out, and then the thing was building, and then it's all been also built with patience. Everything we've done or we're doing is is patient advised. We have people who are building the programs who are going through cancer or have gone through cancer. So it's been a beautiful journey. And yeah, it just, I thank God for the time I've had and the time I will have. And it's a blessing to be of service to people, no matter what you're
Mhm.
going through. That's kind of, I think, the gift of life, right? It's not the time you have, it's what you do with the time and how you give back and how you are intentional about the time you have that matters.
Yeah, because you're, again, just a testament. Faith without works is dead. And I just love that that's what you're doing. You're putting your faith to work. And your story just reminded me of Job in the Bible. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's what I would say that I was like, you know what, I feel like Job right now. It's what I'm like, I am like Job. My partner left. I lost my home. My job my career was a stake. I was going through
Mm,
my savings like crazy. I was feeling really sick because I would start treatment I would do it on like a Thursday in my job, and I had planned like I'd be out Thursday for chemo, then I would be like, I feel horrible on Friday and Saturday, and hopefully be back in the office on Mondays. But your body doesn't work like that; it's not on a time clock.
mm,
So may not feel better by Monday or Tuesday, and so I may need more time off. And they were supportive, but they were paying me for a job, right? So if I had at some point I ran out of sick time because I didn't have any more left, and so it impacted my wages.
mm,
And I have to be at work sometimes, and I'm like, I just can't come in. I don't feel good. Even when treatment ended, my boss she's still a friend of mine, and she said, "Are you coming in today?" And I was like, I just don't feel good. I went through a depression when it ended because people think treatment ends and then you're back to yourself, but your whole life's been changed. Everything's different now. You're scared because treatments ended and you're thinking they're going to come back. Maybe you have scars, maybe you lost a breast or two. I lost fertility while I couldn't have any more children. I had scars. My body looked different. If I when I begin to kind of go out and date, you tell a guy you had cancer, and oh my god, they start to run. Like you see them, like they would just get like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Then that would be the end of that. Like, um, there's my friends were living their life, and I'm thinking about cancer and
mm,
being healthy, and thinking about what every headache, every backache, every
mm.
pain, everything I can like is a cancer again. So then there's like follow up appointments, and there's a whole your life's now about staying healthy and not getting cancer. People are out dating, getting married, and living their best lives, and you have to adjust to a different way of living. So um I think, forgot what you just asked me, but I feel like you have to find a different level of faith because everything you believe to be true is different, and you have to have different community, because even people that you care about that love you to pieces, they were also terrified that you had cancer, so they wanted to be gone. You're like, okay, it's gone now, go. Well, they just want you to be back to yourself,
Yeah.
but you're
Mm,
not yourself, and your family's like, okay, the cancer's gone now, we got her back, but they got a whole new person, and they're like, well, what are you
yeah.
doing? I mean, it's gone now, so just live your life. And I'm like, well, this is me now. There's you before and there's you after, and your family has to get used to the person that you are today, like the fears you have and the follow ups and the all the things. So I think one thing I'm really proud of is that people that have gone through cancer, we help them and their loved ones to cope with how it impacts them, because the people that love you the most are the ones that are terrified. They couldn't do anything but just watch you go through this and love you, right? So they need support too, and their children need support. My daughter was 3, and she spent a long time. Even now, if I don't, she just is concerned about my health all the time because she's known her whole life that mommy had cancer, and I help people with cancer every day. And so I have friends who live and I have friends who die. There's someone that's dying every single month, every other couple. People are all the time, so we have to deal with that kind of thing too. It's not just all pink ribbons. It's not pretty, right? So
Yeah.
just kind of like that part is challenging, but also like you learn compassion for other people, and you learn to love deeply, and you learn that nothing's promised in life, and all you have is now. And so it makes you love people more. It makes you be more intentional with your life and time. And if you look at my social media feed, like I gym, eating, daughter, puppies, relaxation, inspiration. That's what my life's about. And I think if you can make a life,
Mm.
design a life that matters and that gives people hope, and that's all you can do, right? That when
Yeah.
you're here, they remember that you made a difference for them, and then when you're not here at some point in like 10 million years, they remember that you were here and that you made an impact as well. So
Oh, yeah. And because I mean, like you said, you're dealing with cancer all the time. I feel like that's so heavy. So how do you not carry that heaviness with you and still, see the good things of life?
I think I think all life is beautiful and heavy, right? Like I think that the it is heavy, so I do a lot of self-care. I do a lot of self-care. There are weekends like this weekend I just laid on the couch and I didn't talk to anybody but my daughter and my mom. And I had my Stanley with my water. I went to the gym. I slept. I go for a walk in the morning. Well, I sleep in, go for a walk. I do meditation and prayer, and then I would just go to the gym for a couple of hours and come home and just rest. My body and soul need to rest. I give a lot out. It is heavy. People are always texting that need support. My brain's always going. So just having downtime for me to just like rest and let God just clean me and help me to just kind of be restored. I don't wait till I'm tired to stop. I will be very the one to say, listen, I'm canceling a call. I need to take a nap. So I'll be like, I'm very into that. But I also think that as much as it's heavy, you get to help people in times when they're so vulnerable and they need you the
Mm,
most. And people come to me and they don't have a filter. They're just like they're any kind of like facade or mask they're wearing is gone because they're like we're in the same place. They're where I once was and I know how that place feels. So any kind of like a what do you do? Da da da. All the little like small talk is not even in the way. It's me feeling the patient and what she's going through and being there for her as if it was myself. And that's a beautiful thing, to help somebody at that time and then to get them to a place of where they can exhale and go, okay, I got this. And then they get to a point where I got this. Oh my God, who can I go and help going through this as well? What can I do to make a difference? So you've given a person hope and a way to make a difference in the world beyond just doing a job and getting paid for it. Like they can create
mm,
real lasting impact and serve somebody in a way that makes their life be even more empowering and be legacy making, if I can say those words. Yeah. So it is heavy, but I don't know that I would want any other life where I could just not
mm,
worry about other people. Or I wouldn't say worry, care. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because I love people. I love helping other people. It makes me happy that somebody sees me as a safe space. And so I just love it. And I just think that's important to balance that love for yourself as well. So I have a lot of like, I have a planner I use where I plan my days out before I start and I journal a lot and I get away and detox and take care of myself. Because even Jesus went into the desert to retreat, to get away, right? And so, as a human being, we have to take care of ourselves, and then that gives you the opportunity to be able to be whole, to care for other people. And so, that's what I do. But it's just like when I look back at my life, I want to see that I lit people's candles in a way that brought them hope. And if I can fill up, like a jar, and that the jar is my life, and I'm filling it up with love and empowerment and hope when my life is coming to an end or it's over. I want to be able to see that of all the time I spent here, these are the things I poured into this life that I had. And that's what matters to me.
Wow. And you've already poured so much into me, even with your, I'm going to say Job level faith, because I'm still working on my faith with God. Of course, I love him, believe in him, but I do kind of feel like I'm in a desert season myself. So I'm like, where are you? So
And
thank
it's you have
you.
to ask, I feel like I today when I read I get a lot of newsletters. I think I was to Joel Osteen and he today he talked about in his scripture doubting Thomas. And
Mm,
Thomas was doubting, but he was not bashful enough. He wasn't like, I'm gonna doubt God and hide my feelings. People were like, oh wait, we're believing. And Thomas said, I want to see proof. I
yeah.
show me yourself. And then, Christ was like, thank you for. He's like, Christ was like, okay, so I'm gonna show you proof, right? So I love that because people think, well, this, you can have blind faith, but you can talk to God and say, God, I don't know what to do. God, show me some kind of proof. Show me something, and I feel like with God, it's a relationship. It's like there's a person, being you're interacting with, and if you just think like, well, I don't need to talk to him or
Mm,
her or ask questions, or you can't hide from God. Even if you're quiet, He knows what you're
yeah.
feeling, and He's asking for you to relate to Him. So I didn't sleep very well last night. I just had a lot on my mind, and so I just like God. I said, I don't know why I feel this restlessness and I can't sleep, but just talk to me. Just tell me what to do and figure this out. Like, I want you to just, you know, I want you to just what is it? What is it that I'm
Yeah.
feeling? I don't even know why I'm feeling like this. And
Mhm.
even today for us to record this podcast, I was like, okay, I didn't sleep well last night. Will I be present for the podcast? Should I reschedule or cancel? But even as we're talking, this is feeding my soul, speaking to you. So like God gives you answers in a way you don't have to always hear a physical answer. He just like
Mhm.
just do it, and I did it. And today, this is you've been the light of my day today. Just talking to you and seeing your face, and you really truly like it's as I'm talking, it's reminding me of my purpose. You know what I mean? So and hearing you say to me that you're asking God, your why too. Like it's that's why I think there's so much power in community. Just talking, if there's
Mhm.
two or more gathered, God is in the middle of them. So like
Amen.
I feel like God brought us together today in this communion, and He's like, I'm in the middle of the two of you guys. So like the podcast is your vehicle, and He's talking to us, and I hope that people who are listening are getting fed through your message and mine in this communion we're having in this moment.
Oh, thank you. I definitely believe that as well. And then the last question that I like to ask everyone, I phrase like this: if you were to lose your voice tomorrow, what's the last thing you want the world to hear from you?
If I couldn't talk, I'm
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you'll get it back. We don't want to be
yeah,
morbid or anything,
no. If
but
I couldn't talk, I don't know what I would do. One of my girlfriends, she's like me. She had I think she had Hodgkin's lymphoma when she was much younger, and then she got diagnosed with I think throat cancer this year, and she's like, Maimah, I'm gonna die. I can't talk. So I said, wait a minute, what are you? I said, are you most pissed about the cancer that is throat cancer? And she's like, I can't talk. I'm so frustrated. And so she texted me. We're texting yesterday. I was like, I want to come see you. She goes, I can talk. Come over tomorrow. So I'm going to see her after this afternoon because she's like, I can talk now. So I don't know what I would say. I guess I don't know. My daughter's the best person in the world and my favorite person. God knows I can talk to him even quietly, but with my daughter, I would tell her I love her so much and I'm thankful for her being the best person and human and spirit in my life. And thanks for inspiring me to be the best human I could be, for being my beacon in my life. And I just am thankful for the gift of having 20 years of time with her and
mm,
hopefully 100 more. So it would be to talk with her, it'd be to laugh with her, and it'd be to go out dancing. She's 22 now, so we got together and go dancing. So we go out for a night. We have a nice dinner. We go to the spa. Well, spa first, and some meat, food, and laughter, and then dinner and dancing. And I would just tell her I love her and tell her thank you.
oh, that's
Yeah.
perfect. And again, I think like everything you said in this podcast, I don't even think you need to speak or work anymore because this is just going to help so many people in your life. Like I said, it's just a testament to God's word, like the whole Bible. Faith without works is dead. He works all things for your favor. Just believe in him. So thank you so
Yes.
much for
Thank
sharing
you
your
so much.
story. I know you're so busy, so I'll let you go.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, and
Of
your guests can
course.
find me on Instagram at maimahkarmo.com and Tiger Lily's at Tiger Lily, TIGERLILY underscore foundation.org.
Oh, perfect. And
I
all the
love it.
links are going to be in the description. And I'm going to blast them on social media and be like, did you guys hear this? Like, no, you need to listen to this. So
I love it.
we got you. And yeah, just wishing you more continued success. I know it's coming. God's hand is in your life. So
He's just
yeah,
getting started.
exactly. So yeah, have a great
So
rest of
much.
your day.
Cause you're a glass house. Put your glass on, get your bows on behind the glass.
Mwah.